For the first time ever, women's football is playable in Football Manager 26. With real leagues, real players, real stories. But with so many clubs to choose from, where do you even begin? Today, I'm breaking down the most fascinating saves you can play on day one. From dynasty clubs trying to conquer Europe, to fallen giants chasing redemption, to underdogs proving they belong. This is the first of several videos I'm going to have about women's football in FM26, so stay tuned. But today we're going to touch on 5 categories with a total of 11 teams, touching on the first category of dynasty defenders, then breakthrough merchants, so close yet so far, the old guard seeking redemption, and last but not least, the ambitious challengers. So let's get right to it. So if you're interested in women's football but don't want the challenge of starting from the lower leagues while you get acquainted with how women's football works, you need a club at its pinnacle that's trying to remain dominant. I've got 2 clubs for you to consider, and the first up, as you might expect if you know anything about women's football, is Chelsea. Chelsea are incredible, and I do have some notes right below the camera, so if you see my eyes moving, that's what's going on. They just won their 6th consecutive WSL title and 8th overall, and, along the way, completed an invincible season last year with 19 wins and 3 draws. This is both, I think, the easiest and hardest save. Easy, because you've got the best squad and you've been dominant, but hard because anything less than a treble feels like a failure. Then there's the pesky issue of the Champions League. Despite all of their domestic success, Chelsea's never won the Champions League. That's unbelievable. In fact, they've only made one final in 2020/21, losing to Barcelona, and they also got wrecked in last year's semifinal by Barcelona again, but this time it was an 8-2 aggregate scoreline. Your job is to take this elite squad to the final step, champions of Europe. Speaking of Barcelona, let's talk about their dominance. In the last 14 league seasons, they've won 10, including all 6 of the last 6 leagues. That's insane. On top of that, they've won 3 of the last 5 Champions Leagues and appeared in the final of 6 of the last 7 Champions League, including last year in a 1-0 loss to Arsenal. Since 2022, I just have to look at the stat. The club have won 95% of their league games. That's a record of 85 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. That is insane. The squad is clearly immensely talented. Your job is to continue to boss the league over Real Madrid while setting up a dynasty in Champions League finals. But what if you don't want a dominant team that just walks the league? You want a club that maybe just achieved something historic. They're good, but can you sustain them? First on our list is Arsenal. As I noted above, they just won their first Champions League since 2006/07. They have also got 15 league titles to their name. Okay. But the last came in 2018/19, and their last FA Cup win came in 2015/16. This, to me, is the perfect Football Manager narrative. You've broken an 18-year curse in the Champions League. You've conquered Europe there, but Chelsea still won the WSL. Now you face 2 massive challenges. Prove the Champions League win was not a fluke, and dethrone Chelsea domestically. Can you build a dynasty, or will it just be a one-off? Next, we go all the way to Australia with Central Coast Mariners. The A-League in Australia is similar to MLS in the United States, so hang with me. You have a regular season of 23 games, and the team with the best record from those games is crowned the Premier. The top 6 teams from the regular season then play in a knockout playoff format, with the winner of that being named the Grand Final winner. Central Coast Mariners were last year's Grand Final winner. No big deal, right? Hold up. The club was out of the league entirely. I mean, not playing in the league due to a lack of funding from 2010 to 2023. They've only been back in the A-League for 2 seasons. Last year, they finished the regular season in 4th, a whopping 21 points behind top of the table Melbourne City FC. But 4th was good enough for the playoffs, and their run took them past 5th place Canberra United, past Melbourne City, with the winner scored in extra time in a 3-2 win, and passed Melbourne Victory, who were above them in the regular season, in the grand final, which finished 1-1, and they won 5-4 on penalties. So can Lightning strike twice? You've shocked the league and won your first ever title out of absolutely nowhere. Now comes the hardest challenge in football, proving it wasn't a fluke. You have limited resources, you're from a smaller market, and every big club wants to poach your best players. It's pure David versus Goliath. A team that didn't play for 13 seasons or something like that. That's it. What? That's wild. Next up, we've got so close yet so far. So you want a good team that just can't seem to get over the line, or maybe they used to be really good, but they've kind of fallen from glory and they're trying to battle back. I've got 3 incredible clubs for you today. First, Lyon, a club that defined women's football for about a decade and has had the best of the best on their roster. Lyon have 8 Champions League titles, and to give you context, the next closest number of titles is Eintracht Frankfurt with 4. But they've not won since 2022, and after an incredible run of 5 in a row from 2016 to 2020. So they've slipped. It's the ultimate restore the glory type save. Can you bring them back to the summit? Our next club is also in France, PSG. PSG are the eternal bridesmaids. They've never won the Champions League despite massive investment, superstar signings, and reaching the semifinals multiple times. They're kind of like pre-2023 Manchester City from the men's game. All the money, all the talent, none of the ultimate glory. You have unlimited resources, at least you should. You have world-class players, but can you actually win the big one? This is a break the curse save where the expectation is massive, but the pressure is even bigger. Every Champions League exit is a failure. Every near miss deepens the trauma. Our third club is in Manchester, and it's Manchester City. A club with incredible resources, world-class facilities, elite talent, City Football Group backing, but they've struggled to get over the line. I think they're a classic, so close yet so far club. They do have 1 domestic title from 2016. Since then, 5 runner-up awards, plus finishing 3rd and 4th one time each. Last year's 4th place finish leaves them out of the Champions League for this year, and in 23-24, they finished tied with Chelsea on points and record. They had the exact same record, losing out on the title by 7 less goal difference. So they haven't done much in the Champions League. They come as close as the semifinals in 2017 and 18. That's it. So can you harness the resources, build the squad, and get them to both domestic and continental glory? If you're enjoying content like this, I've got 22% off of FM26. If you pre-order, you also get access to the beta, which is just around the corner. And if you enjoy talking about football with pretty chill people, I've got a Discord. The link is also in the description. Now let's talk about the old guard, the teams that used to be really good way back in the day and are now seeking redemption. I've got 2 powerhouse clubs trying to reclaim their thrones, and the first one is the team I'm going to be doing a beta save with, and that is Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg won the Champions League in 2013 and 2014, but haven't done anything since. They lost in the 2020 final to Lyon and in the 2023 final to Barcelona, so it's not like they're not getting there, but they were so dominant and have fallen off. They also used to dominate German football, absolutely, but Bayern Munich has emerged as a serious rival. How serious? Pretty serious. Bayern have won 4 of the last 5 league titles, with Wolfsburg finishing second when Bayern won it, and the one time that Bayern finished second, Wolfsburg won it. So you've got a big rivalry. You used to dominate, and Bayern Munich have built up over time and have kind of taken your lunch money. The European glory also feels like ancient history at this point. So can you restore, or can I restore, Wolfsburg to European dominance? They've got the infrastructure, the history, they've got a good academy, but they're no longer the guaranteed German powerhouse. This is kind of a rebuild the machine save where you need to outthink Bayern's resources and reclaim the European throne you once owned. Next up, we head to the United States, NWSL's Portland Thorns. The Thorns are one of NWSL's most successful clubs historically, with passionate fan support. They regularly lead the league in attendance, but they haven't won a title since 2017. They've also got Sophia Smith, who earns over $500,000 annually and is one of the league's highest paid players. Your job is to restore Portland to its former glory. With the best fan base in American women's soccer behind you, arguably, You have elite talent like Sophia Smith, but can you build around her with, oh yes, my friends, a salary cap? More on that in a future video. The fans deserve success, the history demands it, the atmosphere supports it, but can you deliver? But what if you want to sink your teeth into a women's save for a bit longer period of time? You need clubs that have potential, but need your vision, your tactics, and your transfers to really break through. First up on this list is Juventus. Now, if you're familiar with Serie A Femminile, you could argue they don't belong as an ambitious challenger. They have won the league 6 of the last 8 years, including last season. However, Juve have done nothing, and I mean nothing, in the Champions League. Their deepest run was the quarterfinals in 2021/22, but the last 3 years have seen them bounced in the first round, meaning just like 2 games played, and the group stage twice. Your job is to build the squad to not just win domestic titles, but to establish them as a club that can go deep in continental football. It'll probably take some time. And our last team today takes us back to Manchester with the Red Devils. They've not done a whole lot in the Women's Super League, nor in continental competition. The closest they've come is the second place finish in 2022/23, just 2 points behind Chelsea. Their only continental experience is getting to the second qualifying round in 23/24. They also won the FA Cup that year, but the only other trophy in the cabinet is a promotion trophy from WSL2, well, what is now WSL2, back in 2018/19. So they've come close once, and depending on how SI sets up the finances, because I'm not obviously intimately familiar with the finances of the women's teams, they should have the resources to build up a squad over several years and maybe win some titles, go a little bit deeper in Europe. It's up to you. That's my first 11 picks for the most exciting women's football saves in FM26, but we've only just scratched the surface. In the next video, I'll take you deeper into leagues that consistently lose their best players to clubs like the ones we talked about today, leagues that really, really want parity, which might be an interesting challenge, and clubs that are a perfect fit if you love building through the youth academy. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Once the second video is live talking about that in a few days, you can find it right here. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want 22% off, again, that discount code is in the description. It really does help the channel. We also got YouTube memberships and Patreon if you want to check that out too. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.